Have you ever wondered if maybe this is all just a dream?
What if I told you that after 4 seasons of endless mysteries, From may have finally revealed its biggest clue yet? Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. Episode 6 doesn't just give us another creepy monster or another confusing vision, it actually pushes the story forward in a massive way. We got killer dolls, a shocking medical emergency, disturbing new revelations about the Yellow Suit Man, and a hidden door that could completely change everything we thought we knew about the Township. But here's the crazy part. Jade's mushroom-induced vision, which everyone dismissed as nonsense, may have been telling the truth all along. And if that's the case, then Boyd and the others might be closer to escaping this nightmare than ever before, or they're walking straight into the deadliest trap the town has ever set. So, what exactly happened in episode 6? Why is Sophia becoming more dangerous with every episode? What does Donna's collapse mean for the future of the town? And most importantly, what's really hiding behind that mysterious door? Let's break it all down.
The basement of Colony House isn't gonna prove there was a hidden door.
Jade finally forces Boyd to listen. Let's start with the biggest conflict of the episode, Boyd versus Jade. And honestly, both of them have valid points. Jade is completely convinced that his mushroom-induced vision revealed something important. According to him, the Anghkooey children's bones are hidden somewhere beneath the town, and the creatures are actively protecting them. His theory is simple. Destroy the bones, break the curse, and escape the town. Sounds great, right? Well, Boyd's problem is that every time someone follows one of these mysterious clues, people end up dead. And considering they just survived an attack by giant murderous dolls, Boyd isn't exactly eager to gamble more lives on another supernatural scavenger hunt. What makes this argument so interesting is that it's really about philosophy. Jade believes action is better than inaction, while Boyd believes caution is better than recklessness. They're both trying to save everyone. They're just approaching the problem from completely different directions. And when Jade accuses Boyd of becoming complacent, that's where things get personal, because Boyd has spent years carrying the responsibility of keeping people alive. Imagine being blamed for not solving a puzzle that's literally designed by an evil supernatural force. That's basically what Boyd is dealing with. Still, Jade refuses to back down because in his mind, this vision is the closest thing they've ever had to a real answer. And by the end of the episode, it turns out he might actually be right.
He was so scared all the time, so one day he jumped.
Victor reveals a huge clue about the Yellow Suit Man. Now let's talk about Victor, because every season seems to prove the same thing. If you want answers, pay attention to Victor. The guy remembers more than anyone else, just remembers it in fragments. This week, Victor reveals something incredibly important. The Yellow Suit Man wasn't always some mysterious nightmare creature. According to Victor, he arrived in town the same way everyone else did, in a car. Think about that for a second. The Yellow Suit Man may have once been human. That's massive. Up until now, he's felt almost like a supernatural god lurking behind everything. But if he entered through the same road everyone else used, then maybe he was trapped here once too. Maybe he changed. Maybe the town transformed him. Or maybe he willingly became something else. Whatever the truth is, Victor's memory suggests the Yellow Suit Man has an origin story, and that makes him vulnerable, because if something has a beginning, it usually has an ending too.
We were attacked by giant dolls.
The killer dolls support an old theory. Meanwhile, the fallout from the settlement attack reaches Colony House, and honestly, the details are horrifying. Roger's body is discovered with buttons sewn onto his eyes and wires stitched across his mouth. The dolls didn't just kill him, they transformed him into one of them, which is somehow even creepier. But here's why this matters. The attack supports a theory that's been floating around the show for years. Nathan once suggested that when people die in the Township, their fears, nightmares, and imagination somehow become real. At first, that sounded ridiculous. Now, not so much. Tabitha explains that the dolls originated from one of her previous incarnations. Objects tied to a traumatic memory somehow evolved into giant murderous monsters. If that's true, then the town isn't just creating creatures randomly. It's weaponizing fear. It's taking memories, trauma, guilt, and nightmares, and turning them into physical threats. And that changes everything, because suddenly, every resident's psychological baggage becomes dangerous. The monsters aren't just outside anymore, they're inside people too.
And Krishna, the golem of Prague.
What is Fatima actually building? Okay, let's talk about Fatima, because I know a lot of viewers are confused about this storyline. Ellis walks into her room and discovers she's building a golem, a giant mud figure inspired by stories she heard as a child. At first glance, it feels completely random, but I actually think there's something interesting happening here. Fatima explains that stories helped her overcome fear when she was younger. Jinn, mythological beings, magical protectors, all those legends gave her strength. Now remember something Randall and Julie discussed earlier this season, the possibility that stories from the Township leak into the real world and become myths and folklore. If that's true, then maybe the reverse is possible too. Maybe myths from the outside world can gain power inside the Township. Maybe belief itself has power here. Maybe imagination shapes reality. And if that's true, Fatama's golem might not just be an art project. It could become something real, because we've repeatedly seen thoughts and fears become physical. So why couldn't hope become physical too?
To your father.
And to my dad.
Sophia continues playing her game. Now let's move to the most manipulative character in the entire episode, Sophia. And honestly, she's terrifying because she barely does anything. She doesn't need claws. She doesn't need super strength. She just needs words. This week, she targets Henry, specifically when he's emotionally vulnerable. After everything he's learned about Miranda's death, he's already broken. Sophia recognizes that immediately. So she does what she always does. She plants an idea. The idea that maybe the Township is a dream. Maybe everyone just needs to die to wake up. Sound familiar? It's basically the oldest psychological trap imaginable. Convince someone that reality isn't real, then convince them that self-destruction is freedom. The scary part is that Henry is vulnerable enough to listen, but the evidence doesn't support Sophia's theory. Miranda died, she never returned. She never woke up. As far as we know, death inside the Township is just death, which means Sophia isn't trying to help anyone. She's trying to manipulate. The question is why? Who is she really working for? And what does she gain from pushing people toward hopelessness? Because every episode makes her seem less like a victim and more like an active participant in whatever nightmare controls this place.
I'm so sorry that happened to you.
Sarah and Julie finally understand each other. One of the quieter moments of the episode ends up being one of the most meaningful. Sarah and Julie painting Sophia's room together. Now on paper, that sounds like the least important scene imaginable, but emotionally, it's huge. For the first time, Julie admits she understands what Sarah went through. Both of them were manipulated. Both of them believed they could change things. Both of them thought they had special knowledge. And both of them learned that the town is much bigger than they are. That shared experience creates a genuine connection. It's also a reminder that From works best when it focuses on human relationships. Yes, the monsters are terrifying. Yes, the mysteries are fascinating, but the emotional bonds between characters are what make those mysteries matter. Without those relationships, all we'd have is a collection of scary puzzles.
And then climbed into a hole, and this lady is talking about snoring.
Donna's heart attack changes the stakes. Then comes one of the episode's biggest shocks. Donna collapses. A heart attack. And for a few minutes, it genuinely feels like we might lose one of the show's most important characters. The reason this scene works isn't because Donna dies. She doesn't. The reason it works is because it forces everyone to confront a future without her, especially Boyd. Their relationship has become the emotional backbone of the series. They disagree constantly. They frustrate each other. But they're also the two people holding the community together. Watching Boyd panic over Donna's condition reminds us how much he's already lost and how much more he could lose. Fortunately, Donna survives, at least for now, but the scare serves an important purpose. It pushes Boyd toward action, because suddenly he realizes there may not be time to keep waiting.
The bones of those kids, are they down there? Are they in the tunnels?
I don't know.
The ending explained. The door is real. And now we get to the moment everyone's talking about, the ending, the hidden door. After everything that's happened, Boyd finally decides to test Jade's theory. He grabs a jackhammer, heads into the basement, and starts smashing through the wall where Jade claimed the door existed in his vision. For a moment, it looks ridiculous, like a desperate man destroying property because he's run out of options. Then it happens. The wall breaks, and behind it, there's a door, exactly where Jade said it would be, because it proves Jade's vision wasn't random. It wasn't a hallucination. It wasn't metaphorical. It was real. Someone intentionally hid that door. Someone wanted it buried. And that's where things get really interesting, because now we have two possibilities. The optimistic interpretation is that previous residents discovered this path and left clues behind. A secret route, a hidden weakness, a way to finally break the cycle. But the darker interpretation feels equally possible. What if the town wants them to find it? What if hope is the trap? What if this door exists specifically to lure Boyd and Jade deeper into danger? After all, that's exactly how the Township operates. It gives people hope and then takes it away, again and again.
You want me to go down in those tunnels?
Our nerdy thoughts. At its core, Episode 6 feels like a turning. For the first time in a long time, the characters aren't just reacting to horrors. They're actively moving toward an answer. The hidden door gives the story momentum. Victor's memories give us new clues. Sophia's manipulation reveals bigger dangers. And Donna's collapse reminds everyone that time is running out. But the biggest question remains the same. What's behind that door? The bones of the Anghkooey children? A path to freedom? Or another nightmare waiting to be unleashed? Knowing From, it could honestly be all three. So what do you think? Has Jade finally discovered the key to escaping the Township? Or is this hidden door just another trap designed to crush everyone's hope? Let me know your theories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more from Coverage, and I'll see you in the next one.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.